ever since the legendary Walter Camp invented the position, the quarterback has been football's center of attention.
Let's go red right, run power. 49, booted 8, X5. On the go.
Hair right, you got halfback delay. Trips right, zip, Z away, okay? Trips right, zip, Z away. 90, slant hitch, halfback delay, on two, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, it's a 088 now, Gary. If you get pressed, run me a 7, okay? You got good depth on your 8, though. Split left, Liz, 088 on white. Ready? You got it tight, You got it tight! Tight!
You don't really worry about if he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. Does his team win? Did he lead his team to victory? That's what the quarterback, he's the general. He's the general out there.
Come on, run out of the brakes now! Lead it on, run out of the brake! You run out of the brake.
I'm running out the brake!
Tippy towing like a...
You don't like to find another damn tight end!
I will, and you're out of here. You're out of here.
Quarterback, everybody wants to be the quarterback, whether it be in business or whether it be in sports. They want to be the guy that makes the decisions.
Where's Ricky Sanders?
Here he comes.
Playing quarterback, again, with all due respect to them positions, and I have great admiration for people who played other positions. A quarterback in a football team is unique. There is no position in any sport that can match quarterback.
I was talking with Jack Kemp in the green room before he was appearing on This Week with David Brinkley, and I said, Jack, why don't you like baseball? And he said, immediately, without having to reflect on it, he said, no quarterback. That's a presidential answer in the sense that it's the sort of answer you would expect from someone who wants to be the president.
I hope it doesn't come across as arrogant, but I think of all the things that have helped prepare me for political life. Being a quarterback in high school, college, and particularly pro football, absolutely the most essential ingredient of my makeup as a political backbencher in the Republican Party.
This glamorous occupation requires part leadership, part charisma. There's fame and fortune for those who master it. And in all of sports, there isn't another position quite like NFL quarterback. In pro football, the quarterback is the one individual who can single-handedly, through skill, guts, or force of will, redirect the fortunes of his team. No other player is held in such esteem by the public, and no other position poses such an enormous challenge.
The quarterback is an important thing because he has to make the big plays, and everybody complains sometimes about what we make. Step out in that field and get behind that center one time. I bet you change your mind real quick.
The quarterback touches the ball every play, and I tell our quarterbacks that they're the most important person on the field. They have the most to do with whether we win or lose.
If you have a guy that can play successfully at quarterback, you have a chance to win half your games just about no matter what happens in a lot of other areas. Without a quarterback, you got a chance of winning, maybe winning nothing.
I think it's the most dramatic position in the game for losing a game.
Shotgun left, live 782 drive, BY. That did it again.
I think the quarterback has a hand in more losses than any other position.
If you're going to be criticized more than anybody else in pro football, as a quarterback is the one that has to shoulder most of the blame, most of the credit.
Your career doesn't go along on a level line. I mean, it's a very up and down thing emotionally, which is exciting. You know, one week you're on the top of the world, the next week you're in the doghouse.
Give me some time, damn it, give me a little time. They're so wide open. Just give me a little time. No hold, push them up. I tell you what, they're open. Just give me some time.
Well, I believe that the quarterback has the ability to get 10 other people on the field, the other offensive players, to perform at a level that maybe they might not otherwise be able to.
Bernie, tell him to get off and move that stack.
Set! 330!
34! Set! 145, go!
When you look at a game of a successful quarterback, you've got to see him make the big plays when you need the big plays.
You hold on to the football or try to. Don't make mistakes here. Here's Marino, wants to throw it. Fires for the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. And the Dolphins win the ball game. Marino.
And this is the characteristics of all great quarterbacks. They can pull off the play that they need when they need it the most.
The name of the game is quarterback. It has always been and will always be.
Everybody knows the quarterback. He's the hero. You know, he's the American hero. And, you know, what a great thing to be. Really think about it. It's really exciting to be a quarterback, especially at this level. It's just, there's nothing quite like it.
For the men who have chosen to make their living as an NFL quarterback, the road that leads to this glamorous yet demanding profession is a long and difficult journey that began at an early age.
When I was 7 or 8 years old and I started playing in the midget leagues, I was always able to throw the ball better than even the older kids, so consequently they wanted me to play quarterback and I seemed to enjoy it, so that's when I remember first wanting to play quarterback.
Even when you're younger, everybody likes the quarterback. You know, it's the center of attention.
These guys brought their champagne to our stadium, fellas. No way, man. We're gonna drink it up.
You're always on the camera, it seems, no matter what's happening. In the huddle, before the snap, after the ball is thrown, there's always an isolated camera on that guy, and he seems to get so much attention that I think people tend to recognize or identify that guy more so than any other player on the field.
Everybody knows who you are. It's exciting. You do posters, you do commercials, you meet pretty girls, and all the exciting things that come along with being a quarterback.
In the off-season, NFL quarterbacks are wined and dined, while their presence lends an atmosphere of importance to banquets and charity golf tournaments throughout the country.
Like the outfit? Looks good, doesn't it? See, I'm a great golfer, so I can wear things like this.
Ah, snap. No, I'm right. That's the way to overcompensate. I got somebody's car, I think.
$2,500 can secure an opportunity to play 18 holes with an NFL quarterback. The same round of golf with a linebacker or offensive lineman costs $350.
All right, beauty. Sit down, perfect.
Had to handle the pressure of the cameras.
That was one sweet shot.
Thanks.
Nice work, Bill.
The quarterback's been in a position ever since football's been started. They always have been the ones to get, all the publicity and everything. And the way I always look at it, what I always say is, hey, you had your chance when you were little to decide what you wanted to do, and I decided I want to be a quarterback, and everything that goes with being a quarterback, that's what I enjoy.
Once featured in the lifestyles of the rich and famous, Jim Kelly is but one of many high-profile NFL quarterbacks whose names have become household words. This celebrity status sells tickets and ensures the highest salaries in pro football. However, a quarterback's fame isn't solely based upon his fortune, but rather the public's fascination with his ability to throw a football.
For those of you who were here last year, we saw just a tremendous show, and I'd like to get the athletes to come up. We'd like to have Dan Marino, Bernie Kosar, Jack Trudeau, Jay Schrader, Boomer Esiason, Buffalo's own Jim Kelly, Tommy Kramer, Don Strock. There's that.
The highlight of the Jim Kelly Celebrity Shootout came at a $200 a plate cookout. as many of the game's top quarterbacks fired footballs at an 18-inch tire. There were many impressive performances, but none matched the stunning consistency of Cleveland's Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar. Bernie.
Kosar's accuracy was reminiscent of the NFL's first great passer, Sammy Baugh. Sharpening his accuracy on peach baskets before radials were even invented, Baugh joined the Washington Redskins in 1937 and became the first NFL quarterback to dominate a game with his ability to throw a football. Slingin' Sammy Baugh captured the imagination of America. And in the years to follow, other quarterbacks like Graham, Lane, Waterfield, Van Brocklin, Tittle, and Unitas further defined greatness in the position. From the championships of Starr and Bradshaw to the daring improvisations of Tarkenton and Staubach, the quarterback has evolved into the sport's most visible and demanding position. And the pressures, both on and off the field, are enormous. From Baugh to Elway, the NFL quarterback continues to be the man who is always in the unrelenting and sometimes unflattering spotlight of pro football.
All the glory's there for you. You know, you and the head coach are going to get all the glory when you win, and everybody's going to boo you when you lose.
I don't know if there's a guy alive that can say he can't hear when 50 or 70,000 people are booing you. There's a great distinction between cheers and boos, and you know it.
Running on or off the field, you hear it, and it hurts. But you also have to have, again, that mental toughness about you that says, what difference does it make what they think? Because you're not going to please everybody anyway.
I don't worry about those things. You can't please everybody. I don't worry about what they think. You know, I just do what I do, and if they don't like it, you know, I'm not going to lose sleep over it.
For the guys who say they don't hear the boos, they say that so it doesn't get blown up in the paper like, oh, I don't hear the boos. Maybe those guys won't boo me anymore since they read this. No, we hear the boos as much as we hear the cheers.
You know, I think it's more difficult on your family. They're the ones in the hands. You hear the boos in general, but your wife and your relatives in the stands hear the very specifics.
You have to look at it for what it's worth. I mean, some fans pay their money to express their opinions, and that might be their opinion. They might not always be right.
Everybody gets booed. I don't care. You know, the greatest of all time have been booed. I mean, it's just that the nature of the position is so focal. Everybody sees it. Everybody hears what you say. Everybody wants to know what you think. Invariably, there's going to be times where people are going to be displeased with your play or you as a person.
To a large extent, a quarterback always gets more credit than he deserves. And he always gets more blame than he deserves. There just doesn't seem to be any middle of the road. And you've got to be able to deal with that wide range of emotions. Being a quarterback in the National Football League is an emotional roller coaster.
The ups and downs of this storied profession make the quarterback position one of the most difficult to handle emotionally. Yet each must find a way to deal with it, because win or lose, the whole world is watching. Especially the young fans.
The little kids are guys that are going to idolize you, and I think it's important that you conduct yourself in a way that makes those kids proud of you and makes them want to emulate you. I think that's something that everybody would want to be in a position where people idolize you. the way society is right now, and there's so many other things that are steering little kids the wrong way, if there's something in their lives that can be positive, say our position, then we should try and use that to our advantage to help those little kids out and maybe point them in the right direction.
The way the kids look at you know, the electricity in their eyes. And it doesn't matter if you're going to an elementary school in Cincinnati, or you're going to one on Long Island, or you're going to one in California, or one down in Tennessee. It doesn't matter. You're a quarterback, and they know what that means. They know what that is. And the excitement that you generate amongst the kids. And not too many people can have that effect, and regardless if it's me or any other quarterback, a quarterback can have that effect on kids, and I think it's an exciting thing to be able to do.
I'm at 8. Spread black left slot.
A quarterback's reputation can be built upon many different skills.
Hurry up!
But one of the most important has to be his ability to throw the football.
Let's face it, today the games are won with passing. I mean, pass offense is what gets you in the Super Bowl now today. You've got to have a great passing game to win games and the way the game is played now.
No matter how good a leader you are or how good a scrambler you are, you have to be able to throw the football to be an effective NFL quarterback.
I don't think that a quarterback in our game today can be outstanding without a great arm. I think he can be adequate, and I think with the correct defense and the correct offensive personnel around him, he can win. But I don't think he can cause the difference in winning without a great arm in the game right now.
I use the deep throw. Can you throw the deep ball? And can you throw it effectively? Do you have the arm strength, and do you have the touch to throw the deep ball? And I think that's the big measure of a great quarterback.
The arm strength is not the most important thing. But when you don't have a strong arm, you become an anticipator. And you know that you have to deliver the ball at exactly the right time. You have a tendency to put a little more measure on accuracy.
We can find men that can throw the ball 80 and 90 yards and rifle it 30 yards. But again, it takes the execution, the timing, the touch. You can throw the ball really too hard to be caught under pressure. Consequently, you need a man who has the innate ability to throw the type of pass needed for a given play.
McMahon rolling left, looking to deal. He fires the left side of the end zone.
It doesn't make any difference if he throws it end over end. Tight spiral, I think so many times people get excited about a quarterback because he's got a strong arm. He's got a strong arm. He can throw it through a locomotive. He can throw it through a car wash and never get wet.
Let's go! Attack! 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 Set alert! Set alert! Set alert! Set alert!
It isn't height. It isn't quick arm. It's accuracy and getting it done consistently at the time it has to be done.
Go! 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 Red ball! Red ball! Red ball! 11! 11! That's okay! 11! 11!
I really don't think it's the strength of the arm, but it's the force of will. And all the great quarterbacks have had that when they have to make the big play, they make the big play.
And Montana will get one throw. There's 2 seconds. Right to the near side. Don't be surprised that he forgets those 3 and goes to Rice. Here's Montana throwing for the end zone. Rice leaps. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers. They win it. The 49ers have won it.
Well, I think we're preoccupied with arm strength, and we talk less about the guys who have the force of will and the leadership to move the team.
I think the competitive nature of the individual involved is probably a lot more important than people realize. But if he's a tremendously competitive person and does have enough ability, then I think you probably have yourself a player that is going to have a chance to succeed.
I've been a competitor as long as I can remember at everything, on and off the field. And I think most of the guys in the NFL, you have to be a fierce competitor to be able to last in the game.
The biggest thing about quarterbacks is people like to throw them into a category or a group. And I really believe that the biggest thing for a successful quarterback is to really have his own personality, to be his own person out there. I don't really think there's a mold to draw from quarterbacks. I really think it comes from a quarterback expressing his own personality out on the field.
Cunningham on play action looks. Now he starts to take off. He is bouncing around, now takes off to the far side. He is faking and then ducking and then cutting across the 40 to the 45, and Randall with a 10-yard gain. I don't know how he did it. I think we're looking at Plastic Man.
There have been a lot of winning quarterbacks in this league over the years who didn't have great arms, that weren't fast or weren't big. I think the key ingredient is that competitive drive that they have, and really the temperament, because there's an awful lot of pressure on quarterbacks.
Pressure means when somebody hits you or pushes on you. I mean, that's pressure in the dictionary, and that's all it means, unless you think it means more. As far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as mental pressure coming from somebody else. Mental pressure is something that you put on yourself, and it's a negative thing. It keeps you from doing the best you can do.
Pressure sometimes gets you in trouble in throwing the ball. You try to be too perfect and you underthrow, or instead of just relaxing and letting yourself play the game like you know you can play.
Dang it. Stupid John.
Pressure is the intense moment when you've got to get it done, and you either say, wow, I don't think I can do it, or you do it. And that decision comes very quickly. I think that pressure is always on the quarterback.
1:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Eagles trailing by 3. Cunningham takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. Still looking. Now he dances to the far side. He puts it in the air. Going deep for Garrity, who catches it, and he has a touchdown! They've done it again! They've done it again! Randall Cunningham with some heroics that are still not to be believed.
Invariably, there are 60,000 people in a stadium that are watching the quarterback. Nobody's watching the nose tackle except for the nose tackle's wife and mother. Everybody's watching the quarterback. There are 50 million people on any given Monday night that are watching the quarterback on the TV screen. That is exciting, and that is pressure. I mean, you know you have to perform. Those who handle it the best are usually the ones that become the greatest.
The whole season perhaps in balance here. Here is Marino back to throw. He's going deep, got a man down there. He's got a touchdown!
Well, the great quarterbacks, when something happens where they have to score, or they're put in a situation where they don't have any timeouts and they have to get a first down and get in field goal range or something, I think they enjoy that part of the game. And that is pressure, but that's what makes it fun.
As a quarterback, I don't ever feel the pressure. Big games, every game is the same. Every situation feels the same. You just do what you've been taught to do, almost like a robot, in a way. You just go out there and do it because you've done it hundreds of times in practice.
Kosar wants to throw, pumping once, now throwing long down the left side. Slaughter has it, he's going in front, touchdown! The Browns have won the game!
I think the good quarterbacks don't let the pressure affect you, because if you get caught up in worrying about the pressure of a playoff drive or the pressure of a fourth quarter 2-minute drill, it's going to take away from your game. You just have to be your own self out there and do what you've practiced and not get caught up and worry about the pressure.
Come on, Johnny!
When number 7 John Elway drove the Denver Broncos 98 yards in the final seconds of the 1986 AFC Championship game, pro football welcomed another legend into the ranks of quarterback.
The look, the throw, touchdown! 98.5-yard drive.
Elway guided his club to the game-tying touchdown, then the winning field goal in overtime to earn a Super Bowl berth. This nerves of steel performance rivaled the exploits of Unitas, Starr, and Staubach. Yet amazingly, 1 year later, history repeated itself.
First down at the Cleveland 20, 4:12 to go. They snap and Elway drops to the 30 and throws. It is caught, and Winder's at the 15, trying to run right to the 10, keeps his balance at the 10, at the 5, touch, scores!
Elway drove Denver 75 yards to take the lead. Only this year, he left too much time on the clock.
And I have a feeling it isn't over.
As Cleveland's Bernie Kosar, number 19, took the field for the Browns' final fateful drive. The parallels to the Broncos' 98-yard masterpiece at the same juncture of the previous year's AFC title game were obvious. Cleveland was 75 yards from the tying touchdown with 3:53 remaining. And with Kosar calling the signals, there was no reason for panic. Totally in control, thoroughly unruffled, Kosar moved the Browns toward that brilliant instant when possibilities are countless and dreams can come true. Denver could find no adequate defense for destiny and Kosar's magical touch. However, in the end, it turned into the kind of thriller that Elway won and Kosar almost won.
Kosar to Miner trying to slip left at the 5. He's at the goal line. Miner loses the ball. Denver recovers the fumble.
Fate had tantalized the Browns by permitting them to attempt one of the most heroic comebacks in playoff history. But in the end, Elway was going to the Super Bowl, and Kosar was going home. Stripped of a chance at a win he richly deserved, number 19 was left with the realization that all quarterbacks must face during their careers.
I don't think there's ever a game that is as important when it's over as you think it's going to be before it starts. And then once the game's over, it's over, and you realize that it was another game, and life's going to go on, the world's going to keep turning, the sun's going to come up in the morning, whether you win or lose the game.
Each season, young, strong-armed passers like Tampa Bay's Vinny Testaverde enter pro football, where they quickly discover what every NFL signal caller already understands. The quarterback is the bullseye of every defense.
How do you stop a great passer? That has never changed throughout football. You stop a great passer by wiggling his rifle barrel. Translated, that means you got to get the pass rush on. Don't ever let those great ones just take dead aim. They'll shoot you dead. So you got to wiggle the barrel.
Perhaps the biggest misconception about an NFL quarterback is that you don't have to be tough to play the position.
And they're a lot tougher than people give them credit for. You know, defensive players are always teasing me about, oh, you know, you don't do anything. You know, quarterbacks they're babies and this and that. But, you know, you got to be pretty tough to take some of the hits that we take in that position. You get blindsided by people, you know, 2-3 times a ball game. That, you know, that hurts. You got to be tough to play in the league, but you know, you have to be tough to play quarterback.
I don't know which one of the linebackers hit me, but kind of knocked me out. And I couldn't remember the fourth quarter of the game until I saw it on film the next day. And I don't know how I made the calls in the fourth quarter of that football game, because I don't remember any of it.
You can't deliver the hit back. I mean, it's not like, although I wouldn't do it. I mean, I don't think I can, because I've never, you know, hit anybody. But you have to be tough to be a quarterback.
Sacks aren't as bad if you see them. The ones that are sometimes painful is when you're looking downfield, concentrating on a receiver 20 or 30 yards downfield, and you just let go of the ball and you've just concentrated downfield and you don't see the guy that runs you over.
You're in your follow-through motion. You have no protection, and all of a sudden, wham, somebody lays a helmet on you and kind of knocks you into oblivion. Those are the toughest hits, I think, and those are the ones that people really never see, because once the ball leaves your hand, then they follow it down the football field. Every once in a while, they'll say, well, look at this shot that so-and-so took after you threw the football, but there's a lot of those they miss.
Vikings coming on a blitz. McMahon back to throw. Hurls it deep down the middle. Willie goes. His end zone makes the over-the-shoulder catch to the 30, to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown!
All right. Of course, McMahon took a nice shot after the play, but so what? It's a touchdown.
Blindsides don't hurt me as much as ones right in your face. I mean, when you don't see somebody coming, it's like a surprise. It hurts, believe me. But the ones right in your face are the ones that really hurt.
The ones that come from the back that you don't really expect, a lot of times you're so relaxed that you don't really feel those as much. The ones that I hate is when they're beaming up right through your face and then they end up landing on you. Those are ways the defense tries to intimidate you. But the thing I try and do is when a guy does hit me that hard, I let him know, hey, that was a great shot you just made. And whether I completed the ball or not, I compliment the guy and then I smile right after to let him know it really didn't bother me, but inside it's killing me.
When you're on the side of the ball that I'm on, hey, that's part of it. And if you don't want to get hit, you shouldn't be playing.
To endure such punishment, more and more quarterbacks are bulking up in the weight room, searching for both a physical and mental edge.
Basically, why I lift, there's two real reasons. One, it makes your body stronger and harder, so you're gonna get the bumps and bruises and the pounding. It makes your body come back and respond faster after those bumps and bruises. And two, the mental part of it. When you feel strong, you think strong, and you can stand in the pocket stronger because you know, well, my body's in good shape and I can take these hits and I can stand here a little taller and a little stronger. Just that little half a second might be all it takes to complete a big play.
If the defense is going to pressure you, then it's a good chance that either someone's going to break down or someone's going to come through. If the quarterback isn't mobile, then that's the end of your play. Some of them are going to work, some of them aren't. If the quarterback's mobile, that in many cases is just the beginning of the play. Now the Joe Montana type player, the John Elway type player, can now make a move with the appropriate response from the receiver, and all of a sudden you've got a whole new offense going again.
A quarterback that can do some things just to get himself away from the rush, just to get himself away from the rush to set up to throw the football. Using that as far as dropping back and rolling out and getting outside of containment, it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense. So it gives you another dimension. It gives you another tool with which to try to win with.
A mobile quarterback not only gives an offense a decided advantage, it can totally frustrate a defense.
The big thing you want to remind him of, if he's not shotgun, don't let him get away with coming out of the backside. Keep an eye on the quarterback.
Everybody just be determined. We're going to get it done this time. He's not going to scramble. You guys are going to throw it on the ground. Nice move, John. Nice move.
Thanks, man.
There is no consistent defense for the pure athletic ability of a quarterback like Randall Cunningham, number 12, who has turned from a rough, unpolished scrambler into a multi-talented offensive weapon.
So I look to keep, Randall as good as he can be, as sharp as he can be.
145, go!
And I'm looking to make sure that we have the proper plays, that can use his ability.
Good work. Go, Keith.
I just relaxed.
And your shoulder came through.
Yeah, it came through to the spot.
Whenever it does, you always struggle. As long as you have the ball
up high,
you bring your shoulder through.
I'm always working on his passing fundamentals.
I hear you, Coach.
Make sure that he doesn't slip back to some old habits that he's had.
All right. Nah, 84 short seam post. We can take that down the hole next time. Dude, you blitz him and throw the ball right in your face. Set! 355, go!
There you go. Woo, all right, Ryan.
Don't do that. That's a nice formation, Coach. I got to give you 5 on that one. Nice, nice. All right, huddle up. Let's go Brown left hip, up, toss, roll 69, on the go.
He needs to know defenses. He needs to know to read defenses, and before the snap, during the snap, and right on through all that.
They're doubling over here on Kenny this time. No?
His film work is very important to get as many clues as he can.
Strong safeties, working over to the Z a little bit more. We're down in around the 20 now. What do you expect from this team?
To give us a touchdown.
And what kind of coverage? Or nickel? What do you think they're going to play?
They're going to play that man again, either that or blitz. Yep.
Good read, man. That's good. Very good. It's like you draw it up on the blackboard. That's down the chimney. We were talking about that. That's down the chimney. That's beautiful.
Randall Cunningham's many skills have added an exciting dimension to the Eagles' offense and have further expanded the physical boundaries that once defined what a quarterback could and could not do. However, there is no escaping the fact that a quarterback, whether mobile or not, must be a tough individual. And the way the game is played today, he must also be smart.
From the different formations.
Pro football is a complex and strategic game.
Wanted to block the support, we could just line up in trips and run 60.
At the heart of it is the quarterback, who must make this hard game look easy.
1, 2.
It's a complicated game, but when it works, it looks very simple on paper and on the field, but it's very complicated.
Yes. First nickel, 3rd and 5.
We got the JB flat. No, we got the inside option, right bingo, inside option combo left. Yes, an 84 combo, 3rd and long.
The amount of defenses, and especially with the intricacies of our offense, it takes quite a bit of mental capability to handle all the things that are coming at you.
Double wing right! 78 angle exit! 78 angle exit!
28, Baker Bruce! 28, Baker Bruce! 222! 222! Move!
We're asking quarterbacks to do things nowadays that 10 years ago I don't think we as coaches ever thought guys were capable of doing. The guys are just burdened down with a multitude of things they have to do offensively. To me, there's an emphasis placed on the guy's brain. He's got to be able to make quick, spontaneous decisions. Make them accurately, much more than not.
No, here! Jack! Jack! Here, right there!
He's got to be able to rise above coaching many times where things aren't going exactly the way that you put them on the blackboard.
Fakes once. Now throws. Touchdown! Unbelievable!
But there's times when you get up there and you see people walking around and you're 155, 155, hut, the guy snapped the ball and you're like, wow, man, I forgot the snap count.
It's such a quick reaction period. I mean, when a quarterback drops back, at the most, you'll have 2.5 to 3 seconds to throw, and there's probably 100 things that have to go through your mind in that 2.5 second period that you have to do and read correctly and read the defenses, understand where all 11 of your guys are on the field, where the 11 defensive guys are stationed, and try to get your best matchups.
At the snap of the ball, you know, your concentration becomes so intense that, you know, you do kind of see things in slow motion and don't see the rush. You know, if your concentration is totally down the field and it's really as a quarterback where it's supposed to be, the hits don't even hurt.
You get the ball, you're dropping back, and everything's just dead silent, and you're just concentrating and looking at defensive people run here and there. And it's like every play you're making split-second decisions on where you're going to go with the ball.
People always say, you know, what about those 285-pound guys coming at you? You're not scared? You know, I think if you start worrying about that, you're history.
Most of the time, like I say, there is no sound. You're all sight and reaction, and you block the sound out. And most of the times that's good. I think if you could hear and mentally comprehend what was going on around you, there'd be no way you could do your job.
If you're taking a 7-step drop, however long it takes you to get 7 steps, you better know what the coverage is by the time you get back there.
In today's football, a quarterback can't be indecisive. You know, as you're going back, you have to be looking and then make the decision and go.
You have to act quickly, and you've got to make split-second decisions. And more often than not, the team's success hinges on those decisions.
The ability to teach a quarterback to make a split-second correct decision is difficult to teach, prompting some teams to turn to computers in order to help quicken the reactions of their quarterbacks.
A coach once told me you can't think and react at the same time, and I think what this enables you to do, or what it trains basically, is your ability to pass on a stimulus from your brain to your muscles without having to stop and think about it first. That's a tremendous quality to be able to have in a football game, because things happen in a football game that you don't expect, and you've got to be able to react to them without having to stop and think.
No other quarterback in football today thinks and reacts as quickly as Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins.
During the off-season, when we spend time going through the past season's games and looking at plays and then breaking those plays down into categories, you know, we'll sit back as an offensive staff and just shake our heads and say, you know, how does he do that? You know, we'll actually sit down and analyze it and be in awe of Dan's ability to get rid of the football. There's no wasted motion. He gets the ball, and then it's right back to the cock position behind the ear into this position here, and then with a quick shoulder turn and a rotation of his hips, that gives him the momentum to propel the ball out there along with his arm motion.
The story is that his dad helped him with that quick, short release as he was a youngster growing up. So he had that quick release when we got him down here. The thing that we've tried to work on Dan Marino doing is reading defenses as quickly as he can so that he can make this decision to let the ball go and to get there as quick as he can get there with the football.
When they have a blitz on where you know you're not protected, and you see the free blitzer coming, I mean, what kind of things are going through your head?
Well, first of all, you have an idea beforehand that it might happen, so you're kind of alert to the situation. Keep your eyes on that person. That's the key for you. If he comes, you're not going to be protected, so you have to throw the ball hot, and there's a hot receiver, and you get into a lot of different things as far as that's concerned. But you do anticipate, and that's why you have to keep your eyes open all the time and know exactly what your protection is and where you're going to go with the ball if a certain guy comes because you can't pick him up.
Well, I think he has a confidence about him that he knows that he has the strength to withstand the hit. So he'll stand in the face of a blitzer and wait till that last possible second to get rid of the football. And he also has the strength of his arm and in his body movements to get the football there, even though he may be backpedaling and throwing off his back foot, which is technically incorrect. But in this situation, he has to do those things to just get rid of the football.
No other quarterback has ever thrown more touchdown passes so early in his career than number 13, a speed reader of defenses who releases the ball with confidence that borders on arrogance. It is a confidence born of demonstrated ability.
Our opponent's offense was matching our scores. Came over to our offensive coach during the second quarter of the game and said, "Coach, I think we're going to have a shootout today." That's Dan's style. That's Dan's game.
With his ability to outthink a defense, Dan Marino has mastered the mental aspect of the game's toughest position while earning a reputation that all quarterbacks covet, that of a winner.
You go back to all the great quarterbacks, Sammy Ball, you go back to Tittle, you go back to Sid Luckman. The great quarterbacks, to me, won, and they won a lot. Tarkenton won. They didn't win all the Super Bowl, but they won. They were always in a position to be there because of their leadership and what they could accomplish. Namath, in his prime, they won a Super Bowl in a game they weren't supposed to win. Quarterbacks are supposed to win.
A Super Bowl is the biggest prize that a quarterback can win. And those who fulfill this ultimate dream will be remembered by this larger-than-life performance for the rest of their lives. Just quarterbacking a team into pro football's biggest game is a monumental achievement. But it cannot compare with winning it, and then finding that your soaring rainbows have led you to that pot of gold that comes with being the game's most valuable player. In Super Bowl 22, Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins played the greatest game of his career when it counted the most.
Play action, fake, Williams going up top. Got Sanders on the fly at midfield. He's gone unless they can catch him. The 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Washington.
Playing on a tender knee that would later require surgery, Williams courageously directed the Redskins to 35 points during the most stunning 15 minutes of football the NFL has ever witnessed.
Maybe it's just ironic. There's never been a black quarterback in the Super Bowl. Doug Williams, with all the trials and trying to get to the Super Bowl, I think it was only fitting for something good to happen for Doug Williams.
We are seeing a virtuoso performance. Action fake this time. Faked out everybody. He's got Sanders in the clear at the 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Holy!
On a Super Sunday in San Diego, Doug Williams fulfilled a dream shared by everyone who has ever fantasized about playing quarterback.
Touchdown, Washington Redskins. That's a new Super Bowl record. 4 touchdowns in 1 quarter.
Most valuable player of Super Bowl 22 is quarterback Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins.
NFL quarterback. It is a position that is measured by a verb of only 3 letters, derived from the Old English, meaning to strive. The word is win. And those who master this position all share the fame and fortune that comes with leading their team to victory. And victory belongs only to those who combine the wildest courage with the coolest judgment under the greatest amount of pressure. To an NFL quarterback, it's all part of the job.
This video is part of a complete blockbuster lineup of NFL films capturing pro football's greatest plays and biggest heroes with crunches, follies, highlights, and Super Bowl hits, plus new releases each season. We've got action-packed videos of every superstar team in the NFL. Call 1-800-NFL-TAPE now for a free catalog and order your NFL hit today. Or look for NFL films at your nearby video store. The season's never over with NFL Films and Fox Hills Video.